All right, here we go. Another edition of Talkin Dodgers. Well, this one's going to be an exciting episode, let me tell you right now. We're going to be recapping the first two games really fast, and then we're going to basically spend the rest of our time talking about Shohei and what he's kind of going through right now. Really fast, if you like this podcast, you like what you hear, go check out, make sure you click subscribe, click the thumbs up, the follow buttons, go check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/rotyourbrainmedia. All your contributions help us make content. Max, Aaron, how you guys doing?
Great. We're back here in the saddle, all three of us.
Yeah, took a little vacation.
A little bit of a vacation.
Life's been pretty hectic, but here we are.
Matching up our schedules is a tall task. I mean,
it is.
It's a pain, but we're doing what we can.
We're working around it, and we're going to figure out ways to still create content for you guys, because we know you guys love our content.
We know you, guy. You dude.
Yeah, guy.
Our
right.
fan. All right,
one guy that comments in the YouTube section.
Let's go through the first two games really fast. Kind of get those out of the way. All right, so first game, Dodgers against the Padres. Dodgers win 5-2. You know, we got a chance to see Glasnow pitch. He wasn't locked in, but out of all the starters that pitched these first two games, he was the most on. He had a pretty good performance. He went 5 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, walked 4, struck out 3. So that was a little lopsided, kind of uncharacteristic of how his spring's kind of gone. But he kept the Dodgers in the game, only gave up 2 runs. Brazier came in, pitched great, struck out 1. Evan Phillips came in, got the save, which is great. Joe Kelly had the hold. So, you know, the usual suspects in the bullpen, which is great. Ohtani went 2 for 5, had an RBI. Betts went 2 for 4, had an RBI. You know, it was a good game overall. There was one thing that happened in the game that kind of turned the tides, and that was the Lux hit to who's the first baseman? Cronenworth.
Oh, Cronenworth.
Ball goes through his glove, which I felt, I hate the Padres, but I kind of felt bad for him in that scenario.
No, I didn't.
But he gets that ball. That game, the Dodgers, it's a tough one for the Dodgers, but overall they get the win.
Correct.
Thoughts, Aaron? Go.
Okay, I'm going. Drink now. So happy Modelo Sunday to you guys, by the way.
Sponsored by Max Levy Jr.
There we go. That's right.
Gave the full government. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for me.
So my thoughts on the first game: timely hitting, really good starting pitching. Not great, like you touched on. Glasnow, he reached, his velo was good. I can tell he was still kind of figuring out his slider a little bit and his secondary pitches, but
yeah, there was the breaking balls weren't really connecting when
he even admitted it too. He didn't have his curve. He was talking afterwards to the media, but yeah, I mean, overall that was a great game. Shohei did his thing. Glad to see Joe Kelly getting in there and not, walking 2-3 guys wearing 99. Wild thing now.
So it was a wild thing, Vaughn.
He got that hold. Brazier looked good. Yeah, you mentioned the Cronenworth thing on Gavin Lux. I don't feel bad because he's a Padre. Do I respect Cronenworth? Of course, he's a Major League Baseball player, but we got it, and, hey, what are you going to do? Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right?
Right.
Because that would have definitely been a double play. He was moving to his right, got the guy out at second, boom, throw to first. Probably, pitcher covering. That would have been the end of the inning.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, glad we got that win. That was great.
That kind of sucks. Cronenworth got saddled an error for that, though.
Yeah.
He got an error for it. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and he's moving over from second to first, too. So, he's been a second baseman his whole career.
Yeah.
So, that's a bit of an adjustment. But, yeah, so the Dodgers started the season 1-0, and then Thursday happened.
Yeah, then Thursday happened.
Yeah.
So, let's go ahead. Let's jump into that debacle. We've talked about Yamamoto quite extensively, I feel like, in this podcast, from, the signing for how much he's guaranteed, never pitching a Major League Baseball game, in his first outing in spring training, promising, second outing, not so great, and then you've got this outing. And granted, small sample size, he's still got to learn, he's figuring things out. I feel like most of his issues is pitching from the stretch, to be honest with you. That's kind of what it seems like. And they jumped on him once again they for a first pitch swinging, get on base, and it was just people on base the entire time. He only went 1 inning, gave up 5 earned runs, struck out 2, walked 1.
And didn't he throw like 45 pitches too?
I'm looking right
Which is
now.
basically what you want out of like your first 3 innings.
Right.
But he gave up 45 pitches in the first inning. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, my take on that is I think it's still early. And I'll go back to what Max was saying in a few podcasts ago about Kodai Senga for the Mets. It took him a couple of months to figure it out.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people in Major League Baseball who say it might take him up to a year to figure it out. And they said the same thing last year about Senga too, but he figured it out like after, I think it was his 5th or 6th start is when he really started looking normal. Because again, the ball's different, the grip is different, scouting report,
different. Everything.
Scouting report. I mean, culture. It's there's a lot involved in that, and you guys know baseball pitching is a very detailed responsibility. So
very.
So there's a lot. So I would just give him time. And the good thing is, he said he knows what he's doing wrong and he's going to fix it. So,
and I trust that they will.
He said that. He said he knows what he's doing wrong.
I mean, what else is he going to say? I have no idea what's happening out there. They're hitting me.
Give me my $325 million, anyways.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned. I mean, it is a little concerning.
It's a little concerning,
but I'm not going to go home and be like, well, the season's over now because Yamamoto sucks.
Well, that's why the Glasnow deal was so big, because before he had that Tommy John, I know you guys don't watch a lot of American League East, but that year when he got hurt, he was on pace to probably win the Cy Young. He was like lights out.
Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago. He was really good. And
I remember that.
He was like, for Tampa, he was like literally lights out. His strikeouts to innings was through the roof. They were talking about his
like
weird
12
finger.
Or 13
yeah, it was
per 9.
It was ridiculous. So now that he's fully recovered from the Tommy John, he could be in line for a big year with a lineup like the Dodgers has. So that gives Yamamoto time to kind of settle in. He doesn't have to be the ace.
Exactly. And it's a very good point, because right now, Yamamoto is not an ace. He needs to have a few wins. He needs to get some victories behind him. So he'll take the ball for Game 2 against St. Louis. Figure Glasnow will take Game 1. Let's see what he does, man. I mean, against the Cardinals, I don't think the Cardinals lineup is that great this year. I know they still have Arenado, but other than that, I don't even know who's on the Cardinals that would be even a threat.
This is how good Glasnow's 2021 was.
Yeah.
14 starts. His ERA was 2.66 in the American League East. He had his whip was .93, and in 88 innings pitched, he had 123 strikeouts.
This is 2021.
2021, right when he got hurt. Yeah.
Wow.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive. So for him, obviously it's health.
Yeah.
And it seems like the way he was describing it, even in the offseason, the shoulder surgery he had was a deluxe shoulder surgery to where he's not even really tripping on it anymore. He feels completely healthy. Everything is fixed. So, yeah, just don't re-injure it now. Let's go hard high.
Yeah, let's go hard high. Well, really fast. Let's go back to Yamamoto really quick. So what's interesting, though, is that Musgrove didn't have a great game either, and neither did actually Darvish in the game prior to that. We're stuck on Yamamoto because, first of all, he's a Dodger, so we're obviously going to concentrate on him more. But in the contract, which is still, we're still trying to grasp that contract for not pitching in the major leagues. I know I keep saying it; it's crazy. But his last spring game, when he pitched terribly as well, it was an overall terrible game because it was whoever they were playing as well didn't pitch great. The bullpen for the Dodgers came in, didn't pitch great. And this is kind of how this game was as well. Yamamoto pitched bad. He only went 1 inning, 5 earned runs. Musgrove only went 2 2/3. He gave up 5 earned runs, which is,
Which makes me happy because he's talked a lot of shit against the Dodgers the last few years.
Couldn't get the lube on his ears.
That's what I was going to say.
He was an Astro. Right.
I think what I'm trying to get, though, is that it's not just Yamamoto. It's everybody right now still trying to get their legs underneath them.
Excellent
and so,
point,
yeah, Yamamoto's just magnified.
Yeah, and we've only seen 2 games in the start of the season, and it's basically just 2 Dodger games and 2 Padre games. So there's still time for these guys to figure things out before the next outing. I know the
Absolutely.
Dodgers are playing the Angel. Do we know who's pitching for the Angel? Or I'm sorry, who's pitching for the Dodgers the next 3 games? Do we know
I'm
that?
assuming Bobby Miller's taking the mound today since Yamamoto pitched Thursday.
And we didn't talk about Bobby Miller's
They
last
wanna
performance. That
keep-
wasn't great either.
They want to keep that
Let me look.
that rotation going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great.
Do you guys think there's anything to the fact that, unlike in the past, so here's the next, before I jump into that, St. Louis, you got Glasnow on the 28th, Miller the 29th, Yamamoto on Saturday, March 30th,
Oh,
and
so they're
then
flipping it.
and then Stone gets Sunday, March 31st.
Oh, that'll be interesting. I got to watch Gavin Stone.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's the next 4.
That's Sunday Night Baseball,
and
too.
then Paxton closes it out against, he closed out the 5-man rotation, but he starts the first series against San
Against
Francisco.
the Giants, yeah. Right.
So they're
flipping it. Bobby Miller is now the number 2, at least for this week.
Well,
yeah, it looks like that's how they're doing it. There's Glasnow, Miller,
Okay.
then Yamamoto. So they're giving Yamamoto an extra day. Remember they used to pitch only. He's used to pitching once a week, so
Yep.
maybe they're using that to kind of help.
No, that
him,
makes sense. Keep him
Then
used
why?
to what the schedule he was on before.
Yeah. But I was going to ask about what you guys think about Yamamoto. Like in the past, when these Asian pitchers came over to play in the majors, there was really people never really saw them. Meaning, a lot of major league hitters didn't see them at all.
Right.
So they kind of came in and usually were like they had faster starts. One, they used to use the same ball, but they were kind of fresh, right?
Yeah.
Now with Yamamoto, they saw him during the baseball classic.
There's more film
There's
now,
more
video.
film, more scouting.
Yep.
Like the batters kind of know him a little bit better than he knows them. So maybe he has to do some adjustments. Do you think there's any validity to that?
I absolutely
Yeah,
think so because
totally.
I mean, if I can touch on that, I'm thinking back to like Chan Ho Park in the 90s for the Dodgers, Hideo Nomo. Those guys started off great.
Yeah.
Tanaka for you guys. So, yeah.
They started off great because nobody saw them before.
Exactly.
But Yamamoto, people see him.
All you got to do go to YouTube if you want.
Yeah.
Just check it all out.
They know his repertoire. They know what he likes. They know his thing. So
And now with technology,
it could be that too.
they could probably even practice to them, like in the batting cages.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Virtual
They actually
right.
stuff.
They'll
I forget what it's called, but there is some technology for that. So
Well, they'll find out what their breaking ball is, how much break it has and spin it has, and they'll actually adjust the machine in order to pitch those pitches.
that's crazy.
So he's coming in with a little disadvantage compared to the other Asian pitchers that have come over, 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yep. Yeah, I have faith in him. I've seen
Give him
his
time.
stuff. His stuff is pretty lights out. So once he, 3-4 starts in, let's see where we're at with him.
One last thing. A lot of Yankee fans are enjoying this, by the way.
I'm
Just letting
sure.
you know.
I'm sure.
Well, you're enjoying it now at the end of March, but will you enjoy it at the end of October?
I didn't say me. I just said a lot of people I know back east, on Twitter, and they're really enjoying this
I'm sure they are.
struggle of Yamamoto.
That's cool.
All right. Let's get through the last game really quick. Let's talk about the offense.
Do we have to?
Really fast. Betts went 4 for 5. He had 6 RBIs in that game. I think that's amazing.
So I'm assuming he's leading the world now in RBIs.
As of right now, yeah.
Because they're the only 2 teams that have played regular season games yet.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Smith, he went 4 for 6. He had 2 RBIs. Muncy, 2 for 6. Let's touch on Muncy really quick. Muncy defense.
Oh.
Yeah, Muncy had in that game 2 errors for sure, and then there was also the foul ball, the ball that he thought was foul, which he didn't get an error for that, but it was questionable.
Yep.
The first error that he got, that was a really tough bounce that came up on him.
Yeah,
I kind of give him that one, but the second one, when he was trying to shuffle his feet, keep the ball in front of him, that one you can't be doing that at third base. But let's also keep in mind that's like the second game of the season. He's still kind of getting up raps. The game prior to that, he had a really good play at third base.
And he had a rocket.
He had a gun.
Arm
I know.
to
I don't
first.
think I've ever seen him throw that ball that hard.
No, I haven't either.
Yeah.
So when he wants to, he can look like a really decent third baseman. Sometimes it's more of the simple plays, right?
Yeah, I think it's still just him getting used to it. I think he's going to be fine. Betts, he had a couple bobbles at shortstop.
Right.
He was able to recover, made the plays. Gavin Lux helped turn 2. I mean, Gavin Lux looked pretty darn good at second base, which was promising. But it's not going to matter if Betts doesn't look good at shortstop. Because if Betts can't handle shortstop, he's going to go back to second, and they're going to get a shortstop. That means that
Right.
Lux might be out, but if Lux keeps hitting, they'll find a spot for Lux.
They'll find a spot for him, and I know that the end of the very last out
might be DH.
We'll touch into that here soon. He might.
I see what you did there.
Yeah,
I see what he did there. Huh?
He did get the last out for the first game. So, and that was like right up the middle, swooped it up, clean adjustment to his hand, boom, accurate throw. I was happy to see that. So, Robbie, since you just touched on that,
segue real fast.
Boom, boom, boom. Let's go.
Before we get into our next topic, if you like what you're hearing and you've actually listened this long, please click the thumbs up, the follow, and the subscribe buttons. Go check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/RotYourBrainMedia. Your contributions help us make content, help us buy a cup of coffee, keep the lights on, pay for parking.
Go follow our Twitter account.
And follow Twitter account. Also, there's a new album coming out called Mass Murder Machine.
Yes,
so
there
check
is.
that out.
That is my other band. Yes. And my other band, Striking 13. We will be dropping an album here very, very soon.
You're a busy man.
Try to be.
Busy.
Try to be. Yep.
Okay. Let's get into the nitty gritty. This is kind of what... So look, in a way, this is a little bit of a blessing that we couldn't get together to talk about the first two games because then all this content started dropping. And so it gave us kind of an opportunity to gather the information and kind of give our own thoughts, let other people kind of do their armchair investigating and kind of like figure out what's kind of going on. So if you've been living under a rock, there's some issues going on with Ohtani gambling and his interpreter. That's the best way I could possibly describe it. Max, I'm going to let you give us the facts really quick because that's kind of your thing. And then we're just going to basically just kind of give our opinion on stuff. And like, I'll pull up some articles and we can kind of just go from there.
Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll do a quick summary. In a nutshell, there's an illegal bookie here in LA because sports gambling, unlike the rest of the country, is not legal here yet. So there's no FanDuel in California, I'm saying. There's no FanDuel, there's no DraftKings or anything like that. So, outside of the casinos, you got to deal with, a legal bookie. So now that illegal bookie is under investigation by the FBI. And one of the things that flared up was that there had been several $500,000 payments wired from an account Ohtani owned to that illegal bookie to the sum of about $4.5 million. Now, ESPN had gotten word about that. So there was an interview done with Ohtani's interpreter. And he said that Ohtani, during this interview, he said, it was a phone call interview, that Ohtani was giving him the money to pay off his $4.5 million debt. The following day, he said, the interpreter came out and said, no, I was lying. Ohtani's lawyers then come involved and said, oh, Ohtani did not give him that money. He has been stealing that money. And
Wait, so he came out and lied and said that Ohtani gave him the money?
Well, he said in the interview that Ohtani gave him the money to pay off his debt because they're like lifelong friends. They're inseparable. They go everywhere together, right? But the following day, the interpreter came out and said, "Oh no, he's confirming that I was lying during that interview." That's his words. And Ohtani's lawyers say, yes, he was lying because Ohtani didn't give him the money, he stole the money. So now it's created a firestorm of possibilities because no one has the pure facts, because ESPN was going to come out with this article. Now they pulled it back. So it's a big, it's a mess right now because there's not enough facts for people to understand what exactly is going on. So there's a lot of conjecture and speculation, which, was there betting on, number one is there betting on baseball, and then is Ohtani involved?
There's no baseball betting.
Well, we don't know that yet, because not only is the FBI involved, the IRS is involved.
I know.
There's a lot of layers now. Every media on top of sports media is going to be investigating this because it's a major story. Ohtani's huge and it's a lot of money. So if there was betting on baseball, it will be discovered because the bookies' records and everything is going to be exposed. They'll know what was being bet on but the rumors are that he bet on everything from soccer to basketball to tennis and everything under the sun possibly.
I laughed when you said tennis too when we were texting the other day.
Yeah,
I'm like, tennis?
But
really?
What
kind of a
baseball?
degenerate are you?
So far the rumor is no baseball, but no one's seen the records yet. I mean, I'm sure the FBI knows. So eventually, this will come out in its full glory, and we'll know exactly what he bet on. You know how much, because it's a major case. And now originally, Major League Baseball said they weren't going to investigate; they were going to leave it to the FBI. But about a day or two later, they said now they are investigating on their own, on top of the FBI, IRS, and everybody else. So that is where we fall. I'd love to hear you guys take on all this.
No. Wait,
Very well explained, by the way.
Wait.
Yeah.
Before you hear our takes, you being a New York fan,
yes,
what is your take on this entire thing? That you're seeing the cross the country Dodgers dealing with this situation. How are the New York people feeling about all this? So I got to know this one first.
First and foremost, they feel like if this was Alex Rodriguez or a Yankee, it would be even bigger of a backlash than what Ohtani's kind of getting. They feel like the Dodgers are kind of protecting him, as they should, because he hasn't talked. The other day, the media tried to get a word with Ohtani, and the Dodgers had two of their media people kind of say, nope, he's not. Yeah, they're goons. Like, nope, he's not. Yeah, because they feel like he should be talked. And Ohtani is kind of the league's golden boy. He's generating a ton of money, so there's that aspect to it.
He's a worldwide superstar.
He's a worldwide superstar. He's like the biggest guy in the game, and they need him to propel the game to another level because they're doing a horrible job at it. Look at just last week, they had the opener in Seoul, Korea, at 3 a.m. for nobody to see.
It's hard to see that.
So they need Ohtani to kind of propel the sport to the next level for the youth. So they feel like it's not justified. The second thing is that they feel like there is no way, there's a lot of, I don't want to say not trust. We don't trust a lot of people back east, right? So there's no way.
Wait a minute, New Yorkers don't trust anybody?
Yeah, it's hard to believe that this guy is pulling up $4.5 million in debt with a bookie, and the bookie not knowing that Ohtani has to be involved, because where's that money come? The bookie's not going to let you bring up your tally that high unless he knows Ohtani's in the mix. And either Ohtani's an idiot for not knowing this guy is taking your money, or Ohtani is involved. So there's a lot of fun conjecture out there that Ohtani, of course, is betting on some of this stuff, right? There's no way this guy's making these bets, on his own. Ohtani has to be involved, especially since they're so buddy-buddy. They're together. You're with the guy all the time. You don't know he's placing bets, So that's more of that is just more spite rather than conjecture, but or facts. So that's the bulk of it. Is like they're a lot of fun making fun of that. Oh, for sure he's betting, but the hard facts is so far. I think Ohtani was in the dark. Like, he really focuses on baseball, and this, his friend is in a hole. He's like, dude, I'll pay the debt. But then his lawyer's like, you idiot. You can't pay the debts. You're going to get suspended for a year. So you got to come out and say this guy was stealing.
Because it's going to look like you were the one betting.
Throw him under the bus like Barry Bonds and like Barry Bonds' this guy. What was that guy? Anderson, who did jail for Barry Bonds. Yeah, the trainer. Yeah. This guy needs to, I butcher his name, but, Ippei Mizuhara.
Ippei Mizuhara.
Like, he's going to have to take the fall for this because you can't pay the debt. It's going to look bad for you.
Yeah.
So that's what me personally, I think. But the Yankee fans back east are having a lot of fun with this.
And you know what? To be honest with you, if he was a Yankee, I'd probably be feeling the same way. I'd be having fun with it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially being pissed off that he wasn't a Yankee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he didn't even give the Yankees a freaking a thought. Twice,
right?
With the Angels and with LA.
I thought New York was in the running.
No, that's nonsense.
The Mets were.
Yeah, that's
allegedly the Mets were.
Yeah, all that is agents saying stuff like that.
Exactly, trying to save face.
Who wouldn't want him? But he had no chance of coming to New York ever.
And he lives in Laguna Niguel. That's a beautiful area. Let's face it. Like, it's an extra like half-hour drive for him from Dodger Stadium. So whatever.
He wasn't leaving.
No.
But they're making they're having a lot of fun with this.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well,
so
and you know what?
That's what's going on, Robbie.
I got you.
You know what I think? And I'll just leave it at this because
You can't leave it at this.
Well, yeah, this is a long story.
No. I'll leave it at this for now is what I'm saying. So I believe he's innocent. I believe with like what Max said, I think he's so focused on baseball, he didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Now, do I want to believe that as a Dodgers fan and hope that he's not guilty? Of course. If it does come out that he is guilty and he was betting, me personally, I don't have a problem with that. Only if he was doing other things, as far as like me and you, Robbie, were talking about, as far as him possibly throwing some games when he was an Angel, when he was pitching.
I'm looking that up right now.
But then again,
there's two things here with the betting.
Right.
There's betting and which is illegal, the illegal side of the betting, which would probably, I was saying, is like a 1 year suspension and paying the bookie.
Conflict of interest.
Like that's a 1 year suspension. But then the other thing is, was he betting on baseball, which is bye-bye,
that's
no
lifetime
more,
ban.
You're gone.
Yep.
You know, you're
Look at
back
Pete
to
Rose.
what is it, Yamamoto Giants or something, whatever that team is in Japan, that's like big time. That's where he's going.
Well,
so it's two different, like, there's he can get suspended for the betting side,
right,
and paying the $4.5 million. That's 1 year suspension, everybody's saying. But then obviously the big question is, were you betting in baseball? You know, that's the whole year.
And that for me as a fan of baseball and a Dodger fan, that's like twofold. That's like, man, really, you know better.
Yeah.
You know, if that's what it is. Like, honestly, I don't think that's what it is. I think in this today's world that we live in with the Twitter machine and everything else that we've been talking about, everybody has an opinion. And so that gets a little jumbled up because then people don't know what to think because there's 5 million people with this opinion and then there's 5 million people with this opinion over here. So it's like, we don't really know anything at this point.
We will know because just, I think yesterday or today, they started digging into Ippei's resume and they found a lot of, you know, incorrect things in there. So, because now this is going to open up, like I said before, more than your sports journalists. You're going to get like real journalists. You're going to get the New York Times.
It'll be you're
going to get like serious, journalists.
First edition, first news story on NBC News Nightly.
They're going to be investigating because here's the ugly truth about this also. The leagues are all in bed with the gambling sites now.
Yep.
So it's like
that's huge money.
Yeah, like they're all in bed with them. So now it's like there's gonna be a big, incident. I don't know if it's this one, but there's gonna be a big incident with players gambling, and these leagues gonna have to make a decision on some of this stuff because it's too close to home. It
is, and for me, man, like I mean, I don't know how much Ohtani is worth, but just for the last few years from what he's made with the Angels is over $100 million. Not to mention all his residuals and royalties that he gets from all these other Japanese companies and commercials that he does for over there.
So I pulled up that number.
Does he really need to gamble? Well, the man's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Last year, I think he made $65 or $64 million last year.
Yeah.
And they said this year he's going to make more.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's how loaded he is.
Yep.
But still, $4.5 million is $4.5 million.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, you're also talking about a lifestyle and a bank account that neither one of us have.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Who knows what he's thinking on the other end of that.
He's not looking at it. Because the thing is, they say he is 110% all baseball. He doesn't care about anything else. He doesn't focus on anything else.
That's why he's the best.
So him being oblivious to what's going on in his bank account is could be a realistic thing.
I definitely think that's a real thing. I believe that. Especially when you have somebody like if this Ippei guy was his confidant, his
like best friend,
personal assistant, his BFF, whatever. Obviously that's no longer. But the thing is too, like
is it no longer?
They were joking the other day after all this came out. They're still friends.
Well, that's what I was going to say. They were talking about it, like joking around on the clubhouse. So is their relationship cool? Like I don't know.
Remember, Ohtani didn't fire him. The Dodgers fired him.
Right.
Remember that too.
Right.
Look, I understand that Ohtani's worth a lot of money, but remember we talked about this, before the podcast. Look, dude, if I have to cover someone's debt and it's over $4 million, I'm probably going to give that guy the cold shoulder for a couple days. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like
a couple of days.
I'm just saying at least. At least. You can't be like, oh, we all make mistakes. Here you go. Let's crack open a beer and have some fun. I feel like
let's have some fun.
I'm going to let you guys keep talking for a little bit. Just keep going.
No, for sure.
I got my Modelo here.
I don't think the relationship, if it's strained a little bit, but they look buddy-buddy right there and there.
And obviously this has been going on for a while. This isn't something that just came up. It did to the media, but they've known about this stuff for however long. Weeks.
Who? Wednesday.
Well,
Ohtani
obviously, I'm sure Ohtani and Ippei, they've had conversations about this stuff way before we all knew about it.
I want to know the size of the bets.
Bank account, gambling. Well, I'm sure there's conversations
that's going to come out
the
eventually.
The size of the bets? Because that's,
everything will come out eventually because
$4 million. First of all, who's covering,
$4.5 million.
$4.5 million.
It's a lot of money.
Let's get exact.
That's a lot of, either that's a lot of bets or that's a lot of money placed on bets. You know what I mean?
That's how much he owed. So
then how you can cover that. And so
he sucks at gambling, by the way.
Yeah, especially if he's trying to gamble on tennis. What the hell, dude? Who gambles on tennis?
Okay, so
come on, that's a legitimate question, right?
I'd gamble on it if I had the money. If I had the money, I'd gamble on anything.
I guess you gamble on.
I don't know. Listen, I like soccer. I don't even understand how you gamble soccer.
I'd gamble on how much time is left.
I couldn't even imagine gambling on soccer. But
yeah, soccer was a big one. They said he was gambling on. So
and all they gambled on was how much time's left in the game.
Yeah, right. It's going to be a plus.
Is there going to be one goal in this game? Is there going to be close to a goal in this game? Yeah. Or 14 offsides calls? Anyways, that's soccer. So, well, all right. Too much dead air. Anyway,
no, fine. We're going to think
he's a bad gambler if he's gotten up to $4.5 million losses.
Okay, so here's the holes in some of this stuff. Let's start talking about the holes here.
Well, all the story's not out yet.
Well, I know all the story's not out, but let's just talk about the facts that we do know. The fact, $4.5 million. Yes. And also this guy, how much does he make? How much is his salary? $100,000?
I thought it was like $80,000.
$200,000? $80,000?
That seems so
whatever
low
the case is.
For some reason.
Let's say it's low.
No, I heard it was like $80,000.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not right, but it just seems like he should be getting paid more.
Let's say it's double. Let's say he makes $200,000 that we don't know about.
Yeah.
To get in debt for $4.5 million.
Exactly.
Somebody's backing that.
100%.
Yep.
That's where the hole is right there.
Yeah.
There's no way that
someone's going to let you do that.
A bookie's going to let you get that high.
No.
Because all the money went to one. All the money went to one place, right? Didn't all the money go to one place?
Money can be covered eventually.
Eventually, yep.
I don't know, man. It makes it seem there's something bad here on the other end of that. I don't think it's going to be good. Let's talk. Well, I mean, I don't think this is going to end the way that we want it to end. I think it's going to end pretty poorly. And here's the reason why. MLB, I don't think can cover this up if there is an issue. If Ohtani did do something wrong, they can't cover it up. And the reason why is because the internet is so accessible. And you have all these armchair investigators who are going to sit there and pry into it as much as possible. So if MLB tries to cover it up, if the Dodgers try to cover it up, it's going to make the league look that much bad. If there's anything in there, I think it's going to come out in a week. I'm not even kidding you.
Come out before opening day?
I think it's going to come out real fast.
We got 4 days till opening day.
I think it will. If there's something there, the league is going to suspend him and basically jump into it. But the reason why they might hold off on suspending him unless they're 100% sure, because that's going to ruin his brand, it's going to ruin the money that MLB is going to make on the entire thing. But MLB is going to look at the long game and want to cover their ass. If there's something there, they're going to want to jump out as soon as possible.
Yes. And then Gavin Lux will be our DH.
Gavin Lux is the DH. Or Muncy.
So what are you saying?
Or Will Smith. You got to rotate.
We got to rotate, right?
So what are you thinking, like a leave of absence? Just get him away from it all?
I think they would probably be like a month leave of absence. Yeah.
Just to like focus on baseball. Get the attention off that negative shit.
And he'll agree to it because all it's going to offset is the $2 million he's guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, and if they have to eat $2 million, okay, whatever.
It's not good. I can't. I mean, also, and then there was other thing. Like, so he came out and said that he stole the money that Ohtani didn't know about it. He could so he had.
That's what he originally said, right?
No, originally he said Ohtani covered him.
Was basically loaning him the money to pay off the debt.
And then he comes back and says, "No, I took it." So you're telling me this guy...
Well, his lawyer said that.
Right, his lawyer said that.
And then when they contacted him back, so when ESPN contacted him back, the ESPN's like, so were you lying to us yesterday? He said yes.
Right.
That's how it went down.
Oh, dude.
It's not good, man.
That's not a good look at all.
Yeah, it's not.
So let's try to watch Shohei Ohtani tonight. in the next couple of days because honestly,
what are we
this might be the most we get to see of him the rest of the year.
Well, some people were saying if it's like some people say if he was betting and it's not baseball, it's a 1-year suspension. That's a good thing because next year
I have no problem.
Next year you get him back and he's a pitcher. So they're like, oh, so you get him. It's like he just had surgery. It's okay.
And fellas, as you know, our offense last year was. Well, we scored over 900
second
runs.
In the National League.
Second in the National League, and mostly all the major categories without Ohtani.
But
we'll return all those guys back.
We lost our $14 million man, JD Martinez, to the New York
Mets.
True.
That's true.
God, what a shit deal for him. He played great last year.
But we still have a great offense without Ohtani.
There's a lot of incentives in there. And he'll probably be traded in the trade deadline to a competitor.
Maybe the Dodgers.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. You know what? There you go. Maybe to the Dodgers. It's all full circle. It's full circle now.
It is.
Look, if Ohtani was sitting there and he was betting on every sport except for baseball, I don't give a shit. I don't care at all.
Bet on bowling or badminton. I don't give a shit either.
I wouldn't care also if he was betting on himself to win games. That means he believes in himself.
No, that's Pete Rose right there, buddy.
That's Pete Rose.
You're out.
But what I'm hearing is what I'm hearing is, and this is what I was trying to look up, and I'm going to throw it on this podcast anyways because I feel like it's BS. But my neighbor, who's a diehard Angel fan, I believe he's the one who told me this because there's a little bit of bitterness on him that he's not that
not there anymore.
He doesn't listen to this podcast. I don't even think he even knows that I have a podcast. It doesn't even matter anyways. But what he told me was that they're finding out that there were large bets placed on games that Ohtani pitched, and Ohtani did not pitch well in those games.
Oh,
if that is the case, and I started looking, Max, you probably have a way better. I feel like that was a thing, you would have found it by now. You might have saw some TikToker actually say that.
I didn't hear about that.
If he came about it before us, then we need to get him on this show. Can fire your ass. But I'm just saying, if that's the case, that. He's banned from baseball. You're banned from baseball. You're gone. If it comes out that he was betting on all these other things, I mean, I think somehow they'd even get out of that 1-year suspension somehow. If you're betting on everything else but baseball, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I don't care.
Who cares?
Right.
Who cares?
But if
you even also, and this might be
it's illegal here, so he would be suspended for that.
Yeah, but we would. But as Dodger,
it wouldn't be a lifetime ban.
Dodger
but it would be
fans,
a 1 year.
Yeah, as Dodger fans, we would not care.
No,
we would just be like, oh man, we just got to wait a year till we get him.
Yeah,
we wouldn't care at all.
We got a little small taste of spring training.
Yeah,
and a couple of games in Korea. But if he has to be suspended for a year,
with that. Compared to,
I wouldn't be happy with it, but I would be happy about it. I would just be looking towards next year to be able to have it.
Comparatively speaking, I'd be okay with it.
Compared to being gone forever,
I could definitely deal with it. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because like I said, we do have a pretty powerful offense without him.
We got Gavin Lux.
Well, that's all that matters.
We didn't have Gavin Lux last year. So he replaces JD Martinez's 106 RBIs with 30-something.
Well, let's not get too crazy there. Maybe half of that.
Hey, I predicted that he was going to have close to 20 or a little over 20 homers or close to 20, and he was going to bat 280. I didn't say how many errors he was going to have, though, in the season.
Speaking of which, next episode will be our predictions for the season.
Yes.
Cy Youngs, Rookie of the Years, MVPs, all that good stuff.
So if you want to take a legal bet.
Didn't we already say Yamamoto was going to win Cy Young?
Yeah, take a legal bet.
You can take a legal bet and go pay some futures odds in Vegas.
Yeah, Yamamoto, Cy Young, and Ohtani MVP. Oh, wait.
I would not put that one
That wouldn't be a good bet.
No.
But we can go put wagers in Vegas.
Yeah, so it's either he's a complete idiot or he was messing with some gambling too.
Let's just hope he's an idiot.
Because wiring money is not easy thing to do. These banks are on top of that kind of stuff.
Especially that kind of amount of money.
$500,000.
Right.
I'm surprised Ohtani didn't walk in and do a retina scan. You know what I mean? Like dude.
Or an anal probe or something.
It's not easy to I've wired and
some sticky stuff.
The bank calls, they check. There's a lot involved in wiring, decent amount of money across, and now so this is not
I wouldn't know about that kind of amount of money.
No.
I hope to have that problem one day.
I would love to have that problem, but yeah.
We all want that problem. But yeah, man, I mean, just, to be honest with you, I just want to focus on baseball. That's what I was even telling my girl that. I'm like, you know what? I know we need to talk about this Ohtani thing, but it's almost like I'm not as excited for the season now because of all this.
Oh, really?
Oh, I am.
I mean, I'm excited for the season. I'm not as excited because it kind of takes away from baseball.
Look, here's the thing. I'm excited about it.
That's the way I look at it.
I mean, I'm actually even more excited about it, and I'll tell you why.
Give me your thoughts.
So this is probably one of the greatest off seasons the Dodgers have ever had. Can we agree on this?
I would agree with that.
If Yamamoto actually becomes the pitcher that 325 actually demands, and Ohtani, his arm comes back and everything, it's one of the greatest. Whatever. We got Teoscar Hernandez. We picked up some pieces for the bullpen. I mean, we're solid on offense. We're solid on pitching. It almost came to the point where we were looking at the season, and this is because we're jaded and we're Dodger fans, almost like a video game. But we were anticipating that, we're going to have Cy Young winners, MVPs. We're going to win like 120 games this season because look at our offense. Look at our offense. Look at our defense. Like, how could we not? Look at what we have. How could we not? Now you throw this in there where it's like, okay, now we have to be real about what we actually have, which is a challenge. Which is basically a Major League Baseball team with a bunch of talent. Guess what? Everybody has a Major League Baseball team with a bunch of talent. Okay, these aren't guys that just came out of just went straight from playing Little League, and then all of a sudden they're in the major leagues. All these guys know how to play baseball. So we have to come back to reality for a second that we have to compete, right? And so what this does right now is make us look at it and go, oh, if we don't have Ohtani, we got to look at what we had last year. We were still a great team. We still had the number 2 offense in the National League. 100 wins. But duplicating that,
sewn and put together starting rotation for most of the season.
But duplicating that without a guy who gave us 100 RBIs, who hit over 30 home runs, you replace them with Ohtani. If you don't have Ohtani, you got to pull back the reality a little bit. And I like that. I like not knowing that as much as I want the Dodgers to win every single game, I want to be able to turn the TV on and at least be excited for a little bit for them to come back. Have some excitement. I don't want my presents ruined before Christmas. You know what I mean?
I know what
you see what I'm saying? So I'm
yeah.
I also like a good conspiracy theory. I like a good scandal. So I'm down for it.
I don't mind a good conspiracy theory.
I don't
mind it.
Do I want it to be Ohtani? No, I don't want it to be Ohtani. Would I like it to be Lux? Heck yeah. But no, it's messed up.
Why are we dogging on Lux all of a sudden?
I know. Would I like it to be Barnes? Heck yeah.
Barnes.
If you found out that Barnes was betting on baseball,
none of us would give a shit.
Oh my God, I'd have a whole animation thing worked out for the stream. It would be so good.
And show his 4 home runs that he's hit.
I just spent some time in some After Effects. It'd have been great. It'd have been so good.
His highlight reel is the 4 home runs that he's hit.
Yeah.
And 2 runners thrown out of 80. Anyways, well, I don't know. I'm at a point now where let's just get the season started. Let's get it started.
You don't want any other controversy stuff.
I don't. No, there's too much.
You just want to play baseball.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I know we're the number 1 target. You know what I mean? And this makes us even more of a target. How are the Dodgers going to handle this? How are they going to navigate?
But the Dodgers have always been, they've been the number 1 target for at least the last 5-10 years in the National League.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Especially in the West. You bring up the entire NL. Braves have been there the entire time. Phillies have jumped in a little bit. Mets wanted to be there, but it turns out that they don't know how to be there. It's the Dodgers. The Dodgers have been. Yeah, the Dodgers have already had this on their back for a while. I mean, maybe it's outlined a little bit more in permanent ink by the offense that they've had, but it's nothing new for them. It's totally fine.
Well, let's just say, if worst case scenario, and I think I want to close my comments out on this. Worst case scenario, obviously he gets found guilty, suspended for a year.
No, worst case scenario would be is they find out that he betted on baseball and he's banned from baseball. That's worst case scenario.
I guess that would be worst case, but I'm also not hoping that's the case.
Well,
I'm thinking for this year, worst case scenario, he's out for a year. We have to figure out what we're going to do DH-wise. I still think we're going to be good because it doesn't affect our pitching, you know what I mean, starting rotation or bullpen. So I'm just hoping that doesn't happen, obviously. Here's
something I don't think I've even looked at all. Max, you might know this a little bit. Let's say that everything is true as far as it was just the interpreter, and Ohtani came in and Ohtani basically backed him and basically got him out of trouble and paid for his debts.
Yeah.
Is there a law against that in baseball?
Yeah, he would. That's part of the.
He'd still be in trouble.
He would still be in trouble for that. Yes.
So either way, something's going to happen.
That's why his lawyers came out and said Ohtani didn't give him the money; he stole the money. that's the guy has Ippei is gonna have to fall on the sword, like we were saying in the text. He's gonna
basically also say like how we got the bank account information,
exactly,
what
like,
the Swift, is it Swift?
Yeah, he's gonna have to say what he told the bank, all that. I mean, he can say that, but there's paper trail and records and all that stuff. So he's gonna have to basically be like, yeah, I stole this money, which is again a federal crime for him, and he's gonna have to go to do jail time. So
yeah, I would imagine that's at least 5 to 10.
Yeah, so he's his best friend. Greg Anderson did time for Barry Bonds, so. Will Ippei do some time for Shohei? And I'm sure
Barry Bonds broke Greg Anderson off quite a bit for that.
For sure.
So I'm sure Shohei, if that's the case.
So the minute the money left Shohei's account, he was in trouble.
Right. Oh boy.
And that's Major League Baseball. There's trouble that could arise from the IRS and the FBI, because that's a whole nother thing. Because again, this is an illegal bookie. So
yeah, I'd be curious to see how MLB is going to handle this too, just because he is, like you said, the golden boy, and they have to protect him at all costs.
They will. I mean, a lot of people online, they brought up all that salacious rumor about in the 90s with Michael Jordan and David Stern that he went to play baseball because he was gambling, and they suspended him, unofficially suspended him, and unfortunately baseball can't do that because this is too big and media now is too...
it's a whole different world now.
It's a whole different world.
And
so
the money is just outrageous and you
can't cover it up. So baseball won't be able to protect him much. If at all.
I don't think they'll be able to
they can protect him from the media, like the media harassing him for questions, and that's about it.
That's about it. Yeah,
that's
I know
about
what you
it.
mean.
Yeah. After that, it's him. He'll deal with baseball suspension and whatever I'm sure he can work out a deal with the feds. Something. So
that's just so crazy that we're even putting Shohei Ohtani and the feds in the same sentence. So stupid.
Gambling does that, man. When your best friend's a degenerate gambler, that's what happens, man.
I guess so, man.
Well, $4.5 million in losses. That's really bad.
I know.
Like really, really bad. Like, dude,
that's obviously a really bad gambler.
Really bad
Maybe
gambler.
This dude is just bored. He had way too much extra time on his hands. We don't know.
And like Robbie said, the bookie knows, man, you got Ohtani money, so keep them coming. Keep betting. You want to,
absolutely.
Like I can't even imagine how. Not only do I want to see how big of the bets he was placing, but how bad they were. Online.
I actually would love to see that too.
Yeah, like I follow what's that guy, Mattress Mac in Houston. He does all those ridiculous bets. Like he'll put $1 million on a game and stuff like that. But he's like a billionaire or whatever. Like sometimes I look at his bets, I'm like, okay, I get it. Sometimes, and he bets a lot of Houston Astros because he's in Houston. So a guy like that, I get, but like, dude, you're an interpreter making like $80K a year.
He probably lives with Ohtani, or he has his own house somewhere. I'm sure he's got a nice
on his compound somewhere.
Right. Gets to go to the beach as much as he wants.
Yeah.
Probably eats fine 5-star Michelin type food every night.
Is there anything in your mind that forget Ippei as anything but a go-between, and it's all Ohtani placing these bets, and he's the freaking gambler. He's obsessed.
I actually kind of feel like that's what it is.
Come on.
I do.
Come on.
Because he lives and breathes baseball and sports, and he's always a competing person. So when he's not at the field doing things, he's constantly just like, all right, I think he's just salivating on just like betting stuff.
I can't wait to see Novak Djokovic today. I gotta bet on Novak Djokovic in the Paribas Open, whatever that's called.
Yeah, and
I think that's outrageous.
We don't know what his lifestyle is. He's very secretive
private,
person.
Very secretive person.
I know.
And he's really bad at gambling.
He's got like 18 burner phones, and they're all just like basically placing bets all the time.
And they're all 18 bookies.
18 different bookies.
Imagine he has other bookies. Imagine that.
Now we're talking about conspiracy theories here.
He's
Bring him on.
He's doing bets in Japan,
guys. He's doing bets in Japan.
You don't even know, bro. You don't even know.
He got kicked out of Japan. That's why
the Angels didn't sign him. He just got kicked out of Japan for too much gambling.
Oh my God.
We're going off the rails here. Sorry,
like
guys.
Robbie said, and his neighbor said, if people are going to start dissecting to see was he throwing games, because There's that football player, Calvin Ridley. He was in Atlanta like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
He got caught placing bets
on football, though,
right? Right? So when they suspended him, people, especially people online, they started examining all his plays, and they found all these plays where he was obviously like
he wasn't blocking for his backs.
He
wouldn't run the routes.
He ran. No, even worse. He caught the ball, and instead of going straight to score a touchdown, he would make these weird curved turns and get tackled. Like, oh, dude, you're fixing the game. It was that bad.
I've seen stuff like that before.
It was that bad. So people are gonna start looking into Ohtani stuff. Like, hey, the pitcher's set outside and he throws it right over the heart. Did he groove this pitch in there? You know what I mean? Or he took that strike and he knew it was coming. Like, who knows? They're gonna start dissecting this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
If there's something there, I have faith people will find it.
There's specific channels on YouTube that people have that are just solely committed to those conspiracy theories, if you will.
Yes. 100%. I got a buddy who's going through it right now.
Yep. Robbie's going to subscribe.
So whatever it is, it's going to be discovered, and then we'll know what really is going on. Because right now, there's the fact that there's nothing concrete. It's all this is speculation.
It's all speculation. So I mean,
he could be a choir boy who just wants to do good by his best friend.
Let's hope for the best, man. That's all I got to say. And I am excited for baseball, just so you guys know. I know I didn't say I wasn't as excited. I am excited for this. I want the season to start. I just want to put all this crap behind us.
You should write to MLB and teach them how to do a season opener. Doing it in Korea at 3 a.m.
Like, hey, I'm a Dodger podcaster.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Why wouldn't you just move part of spring training over there? I would understand that, because you already kind of did that anyways after the first 2 games. You went back and played more simulated games. Just take the Padres, take the Dodgers, take 2 other teams along with you, and then the 4 of you guys you play like 5, 6, 7 games or whatever the case is. Then you come back, you wait a week, then you start the season. That is the dumbest thing ever.
Someone online had a great idea too. They said, you want to promote the game, you do a week out there for All-Star. You do the All-Star game there, because then they get to see all the stars, over there. And then the second thing is,
it's not just limited to 2 teams, right?
Yeah, and rather than inconveniencing your fan base here in terms of the time zone, inconvenience them, because they'll show up. Have the game at like 11 o'clock in the morning for them or something, or 10 o'clock in the morning for them. And
I think they wanted to keep them on the regular schedule that they were on. Like so they're playing at 7 o'clock in Korea.
Like Robbie said, it should not be games that actually count. It makes no sense. And then you destroy, a lot of things here that opening day signifies. Like the Reds, they used to do a parade because they're always the first game is Cincinnati Reds, and that's kind of, they're going to do it anyway. But still, you took a lot of traditions away by doing this.
Is it really
fugazi, opening day last week? Yeah, when it should be this week. Like no other sport does this. The NFL actually takes a Thursday, and
to dedicate one day.
They make it a big. They have concerts. They do all this.
The Super Bowl
pomp and circumstance. The NBA does it on Halloween. It's a big thing, season opener.
Yeah.
Baseball hides it at 3 a.m. In Korea. Nothing against the game in Korea, but come on, that's not how you do it.
No, that definitely was not the best.
How you get fans, like young fans?
My girl was asking me, she's gonna watch. Are you gonna watch the game? I'm like, I can't. I got to be up at like 8 in the morning. 9 in the morning.
Who's doing that? It's the stupidest thing. Yeah. I don't know why baseball, they sometimes they don't get it, man.
Maybe it's an experiment and they'll learn from it, and hopefully there'll be enough chatter online to hopefully stop that here.
And then the stupid thing is the Dodgers playing freaking spring training games now until Thursday.
Now we're playing 3 exhibition games that don't matter.
It's the stupidest thing.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, it matters. You gotta win the Freeway Series. It matters.
Maybe Gavin Lux will be MVP of the Freeway Series. No, better yet, Austin Barnes.
Nope. Okay. That brings me to my next segment. Are we done talking about Ohtani? Do you think we got it all? Okay. All right, let's move on to our last segment. This is we're just going to do some predictions for the Angels series really quick. All right, so Aaron, how many wins did the Dodgers get out of the 3-game series?
I say we take 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3, Max. And we score about 14 runs.
I'm not doing that. All right. Well, actually, you want to do that? Okay, how many runs? You know what? Let's do that.
Are you writing this down? Or should I be writing this down?
I got it. How many runs?
Yeah.
Okay, how many runs the Dodgers get?
Doesn't matter. These games don't count anyways.
It doesn't count, but I think it'll be fun. Let's maybe start doing this through the season. We could just do predictions before important series start.
Call your shot. Who's going to hit the first home run?
Oh, there you go.
Dude, I got a list of things, man. Stop jumping the gun.
Oh, I'm just
But
saying.
you said how many runs did the Dodgers get?
I'm just thinking 14.
14. 14 total out of 3 games. Okay.
Yep.
Max, how many wins the Dodgers get?
It's 3-game series.
3-game series.
And they're going to sweep them. 3.
Think 3 out of 3?
Yep. Angels suck. I said it. I don't care if your neighbor is going to get mad.
They always suck.
All right. I'm going to say 2 out of 3 for the Dodgers. Because they got Rendon leading off.
Until he gets hurt.
I didn't even know he was fast. Why is the guy leading off?
That doesn't matter anymore. They don't care about that.
Yeah,
Nah, they don't.
It's all about on base.
All right. How many runs the Dodgers going to get, Max?
Runs?
Yeah.
In
total.
all 3 games?
All 3 games total.
I don't freaking know. 30. How about that?
30. 10 game average 10 games.
Yeah. Freaking I don't know. What
You
kind of
better, you better win 3 out of 3 if you're averaging 10 games a game or 10 runs a game.
God.
I don't know, man. That's a weird ask.
All right, I'm gonna go. You know what? I think 14's good, but I'm gonna go 15. We're gonna.
Oh, you're gonna one up me,
We're gonna
huh?
Price is Right this stuff. All right.
If we're gonna do it that way, I bet 1 run. No.
All right. Best offensive player out of the series.
Austin Barnes.
Do you think Barnes? I'm gonna write this down, dude.
Mookie Betts.
No, hold on. Okay, you got Betts, Max.
Yeah, I'm going with Betts.
All right. I think Ohtani's not gonna show up. He's got a lot of other things on his mind.
Really?
No.
Or
He's actually in the lineup tonight.
I know he is. It's the real lineup playing this game.
No, I'll be serious. Not Austin Barnes. I will say Freddie Freeman.
Freeman.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Muncy.
It's a spring training. Wake me up when the season starts.
Dude, this is spring training
just for
for the
fun?
season.
Oh,
first.
okay. Oh, okay.
All
I
right,
get it.
best pitcher. Who's gonna have the best overall pitching performance?
Who's
It could be
pitching?
It could be starter. It could be bullpen piece. Whatever you want it to be.
Well,
this
Bobby
game-
Miller is starting
This game
tonight.
is Bobby Miller. Tomorrow, I was just looking at this.
So they're
Paxton, I think, is tomorrow. Not tomorrow.
Oh, so they're keeping these guys on their schedule.
They
for
keep
when
it on the
season-
regular schedule.
Because I'm
Right.
like, what are they going to do with these stupid 3 days? The 3 games? Like, are they playing AAA
It's
guys?
Bobby Miller tonight.
No, you got Gavin Stone
Paxton.
tomorrow. Nope, it's Gavin Stone tomorrow.
And
And then
Stone
you-
is tomorrow.
And then you've got Paxton. Yeah, Paxton is on Tuesday.
Okay.
All right, I'm going with you already picked?
No, he didn't pick yet.
No.
I'll let you pick.
Best
first.
pitching performance. Go
I guess
Gavin
we could-
Stone.
Stone.
Yep.
Okay, I could see
Yep.
that. All right,
Okay, I'll go with Paxton then.
Paxton.
I was going to go with Stone,
Okay.
but I'll go with Paxton.
Okay.
Just to keep it interesting, I'll go Miller.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
When
I
the
like
season
that.
starts, we're really
I know.
we're
What do
really
you
going to
guys
be dialed
think in
into
the comment
this.
section on YouTube?
All right, who's gonna have
Fill it out. Say what's up.
Last one that I've got here, defensive player of the series.
Defensive player of the series. Ooh.
Defensive. Who is going to have the best defensive play?
Max Muncy.
Muncy. Oh, jeez, I'm putting it on. It's too late. No go backs.
I'm going with, a nice catch in center field, going Outman.
Outman.
Okay. Like an all-out
Yeah, dive. Yeah, like a
Head
stupid
first.
blooper because the Angels suck.
Okay.
I don't like the Angels. They eliminated us in 2000.
I'm going to go Lux, second base, because I feel like I got to counter Muncy. Like, if you're going to go Muncy, I'm just going to go Lux.
Okay.
The 2 worst defensive players on the team,
Okay.
you just went Muncy. I'm
I'd
going to
go
go
with that.
Lux. Okay.
I'd go with that.
That means if Outman's going to take it, though, he's got to have like a nice dive, a rob,
A
a home
dive,
run.
or he throws a runner out,
Yeah.
show off the arm.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
I think that's going to basically wrap that portion up. If you guys want to touch anything else, I think this is a good hour-long episode. It needed to happen.
Yeah.
We missed the other episodes we wanted to do this week, and I'm glad we did because it gave us a chance to actually kind of, the 3 of us get together and talk about the Ohtani thing, kind of wrap some things up.
Real quick, one question for you guys before we wrap up. Since the Dodgers are involved in a lot of betting, are you guys going to be doing bets? Are you guys going to give picks against the spread throughout the year?
I got to hit my quota to live life first. Once I do that,
well, give it to the fans.
Or we could have a special tier in our Patreon page.
I like
if you
that.
actually
I actually
bet,
do
if
like
you
that
get a
idea.
I
certain
love
thing,
that answer.
Yeah.
Then we'll
Get our winners.
Yeah, and then we'll bet And then basically, if you subscribe to that, you get a portion of the bet.
I actually
Can
like
we
that
do that?
idea.
Is
No,
that legal?
that's illegal.
Illegal.
But
We're not going to do that.
Okay.
But we can place
Robbie doesn't know what he's talking about.
You know what? I love this idea on
We can
Patreon.
call it the Ohtani perk.
We're gonna give our daily bets of Dodgers against the spread or
picture
whatever
of bets.
money line, whatever it is. And then if you are Patreon, you'll get to see all 3 of our bets. And if we got rollers, we're making some money.
I'm definitely not afraid of doing a little bit of gambling. So,
we're Ohtani.
You know.
Okay. There we go. But we're not going to actually be placing the bets because it's illegal in California.
well, right.
But we'll give
Right.
you guys suggestions.
But we
I
can
got
actually
family that lives
kind
in
of go
Vegas.
through
there
it.
you go.
There you go. Let's do that.
The Dodgers, the betting franchise.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be known for now. The illegal gamblers. The LA illegal gamblers.
Yes. The new
All right.
the new logo is just a chip.
Just a chip.
All right, that's going
With
to wrap it up.
Ohtani's picture
Wrap it
on
up.
it.
That's going to wrap it up.
Oh,
All right.
boy,
Thank you,
we're
everybody, for listening this far into the podcast. If you did, that means you enjoyed what you were listening to, or you're a friend of ours or family member. But either way, click the subscribe button, the follow button, the thumbs up button.
Cheers, guys.
Go check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/RotYourBrainMedia. With your contribution, it'll help us be able to carve more of these episodes out, kind of adjust our schedules a little bit, and justify to our significant others that we are here doing this, which is always a good thing. We're going to try to do some more episodes, obviously, next week. We have talked about doing a live episode every Sunday where we will go live during the Dodger game. So you can watch along with us and listen to our comments and basically tell us what you think's happening in the game, what you like, don't like. Or
Wait,
what
I
we're
got to watch
saying.
Dodger games?
Max, we
Yeah,
might
but you can still watch your Yankee games because those are on 3 hours before.
Yeah, there you go. You can just talk about, Come on, it'll be exciting.
Oh, I'll be venting.
That's fine, vent, but it also give us a reason to get away from
Oh, don't say it.
Real life.
mundane stuff.
Hey, next Sunday, Dodgers and Giants. I'm sorry, Dodgers Cardinals.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Baseball.
I will
So
not-
we
I-
might be
Oh,
here
that's
for that.
nice.
I will not be able to do that.
Oh,
one.
you're not going to be here for that. Okay, so we won't
I gotta
be here for
do.
that.
He's out of town.
I got the memorial stuff to do. Okay.
Yes.
But thank you guys so much for. We'll figure out the schedule. We'll let you guys know.
Cool.
All right. On that note, go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers. Follow us on Twitter, X,
Marks the spot.
soon to be X. Yeah.